Hey guys, how are you? How has everyone been? I know I have not did a video in a minute, but so many questions have been coming in lately through my YouTube channel, comments, social media, messaging, emails, and everything. So I said, you know what? Let me get on here and do a Q&A with some of like the top questions that have been asked. And so my delay, I haven't had a chance to do a video in a minute. Been doing some birthday celebrations. September was my birthday, so I was celebrating that. My two daughters are also born in September. We were celebrating that. Lots been going on, servicing clients, still working on this health and fitness journey privately. So, so I really appreciate your patience. The channel is growing. I think I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all of you. So I'm going to continue to just drop you all some valuable content because that's the goal of the channel, right? To help you with your taxes, help you with your business, help you grow as an entrepreneur. Okay, so I have my notes, right? You guys know if you've been following me for a minute. For those of you who haven't, or this is your first time finding me, my name is Tasha 𝐋𝐄𝐒, the entrepreneur. On Instagram and YouTube, I go by Entrepreneur Help Desk. Facebook, I go by 𝐅𝐑𝐈𝐄𝐒 Connections, which is the name of my business. Okay, and I am actually a tax strategist, business consultant, and coach. I help people with personalized tax plans to be suitable for your customized situation, your personal situation, to get like the best results for what works for you. I also help people start and grow businesses from home. Okay, recently I actually just helped someone successfully start their trademark process. So I do a lot. Okay, now let me go. Remember, this is for informational purposes only. Okay, definitely consult your accountant, or you could just hire me. All right, your business consultant or whatever. So let's get to the questions. All right. So I'm sure a lot of you know we just finished the October 15th deadline, right? For everyone who had went on extension, that was the last day to like file your tax returns electronically. Some people were getting a little bit confused because they were thinking that that's like you can't do anything after that. What happens at that point, if you still haven't filed your 2019, then basically you have to mail it in on paper, okay? And that's the difference. If you owed a balance for 2019, then what will happen is you will receive a penalty for filing late since you didn't file by the 15th. If you don't owe, then they're not going to penalize you since you're just now filing after the 15th, okay? So just want to help clear that up. But that's the main thing. So someone asked me if I still need to file for 2019 and or 2018, what do I do? So basically that's what you do. It has to be mailed in on paper. And you would include, if you're someone who is still working a traditional job and you get W-2s, you would definitely need to include your original copies of your W-2s. Any other tax-related documents that relate to federal income taxes being withheld have to be included. For 18, yes, you can still file, okay? You just mail it in, same thing, okay? So hopefully that answers that. All right, someone asked me if I lived in one state for 2018, but now I live in another state. So where do I mail my tax returns? Okay, so basically you're going to, since I just mentioned, you're going to submit your tax returns by mail. And speaking of mail, I suggest anytime you're sending something by mail, I highly recommend that you do it by certified mail, so you get a tracking number. Return receipt is great because someone has to actually sign it and return that form to you. If not, but at least if you do certified mail, you still get your tracking number, so you'll have an idea of at least when they received it, right? So, but in terms of where you mail it, so you can always go to irs.gov and you can like put in their search bar where to file, and you're going to see a link come up that's going to show you where you would file for your state, because you're going to get a map, and then you click your state, and then it's going to show you where to file. But in terms of if you lived in one state in 2018 versus where you live now for that you're mailing it in, you still are going to mail it to the state where you currently live. Okay, so I hope I cleared that up, right? You're not going to mail it to the address that pertains to the state where you lived in 18. You're going to mail it to where you live now, or 19. Okay, that's what you do. And make sure you have your current address on the return. So even if you lived somewhere else in 18 and you're filing 18, that's not the address that you put on your tax return. You put the current year. Okay, but let me also say that you do still have to file with the state, okay, for that state. So let's say, for instance, you lived in Georgia. You live in Georgia now, but you used to live in New York, right? Then I just want to make sure you understand that you would be filing in both states, okay? Well, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of for like 2019 if you just had both situations. But no, if in 2018 you only lived in that one state, then that's where you file. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, so the other thing, if I owe, another question was asked, if I owe a balance once my returns are complete, what are the next steps? Do I pay right away? Or what do? I wait for an invoice? Okay, so I always say if it's calculated that you do owe, yeah, sure, it's best to pay right away. As a matter of fact, you can pay with the filing of your tax return, especially if you're doing it electronically. So let's just say, for sake of, we're talking about before the deadline passed. Your tax return was getting filed electronically, whether you were going to a preparer or whether you did it yourself, right? So there's a way to include your payment with that return. There's just a form in the questionnaire online in the software that you answer where you put your bank information so that they can take the payment out when they receive the return. And sometimes it may take a few days for that transaction to show up in your account, but eventually it will show up. If you didn't do that, you can also make a payment directly on IRS.gov. They are trying to really strengthen or step up or level up their website, and they're trying to make it more user friendly. So, and they're really trying to encourage people to use the site. Like, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, it gets a bit annoying because when you want to get questions answered from a live person, like I literally was on the phone with a rep the other day, and she was just giving me all kinds of wrong information. I could clearly see she was like reading out of a book. You know, no disrespect to her. Maybe she's new. I don't know. But I'm finding that a lot. The representatives, they're not like revenue agents. They're not really well-versed in taxes. So, you know, that those frontline people who are answering the phones, they're kind of just really like customer service in any company, looking up and reading from information, okay? But nevertheless, so when I just went on a rant, right? Okay, so when you go on IRS.gov, there is a way to make a direct payment, and you can use your credit. You can use a credit card, a debit card, or you can use your bank account. The difference is if you pay with the debit card or credit card, they will charge you like some kind of processing fee, okay? Versus if you do it using your routing number and account number, there's no additional fee attached to that. Now, in terms of waiting for them to bill you, well, is that an option? Sure it is. But just keep in mind that as each day passes, they will be adding interest and late fees to that balance. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right. Another question, do I have to file quarterly taxes as a single member LLC if I don't have employees? Well, that's kind of like a gray area question. Here's why I say that, because quarterly taxes, if you're talking about, okay, like payroll taxes, when you say I don't have an employee, so yeah, you're right. Like if you don't have an employee, are you required to file quarterly payroll tax returns? No, you're not. But those are not the only kind of taxes your LLC, your single member LLC might be dealing with, right? Maybe depending on the services or products that you sell in your LLC, maybe you're required to file sales taxes every quarter. That's considered quarterly taxes. Also, if your revenue, if you earn a certain amount of revenue each quarter, then that could also require some quarterly taxes to get filed. So that's kind of like a, like I said, like a gray area type of answer. It just really depends. But if the person who asked me is specifically talking about payroll, right? If you don't have any employees, no, you don't. Okay. How do I change the address on my LLC if I move? Okay, first of all, wherever you first registered your LLC, okay, you would need to, whatever state that's in, if it's in the same state, fine. But you do need to notify the state division of corporations. Same organization that filed your LLC, that you filed your LLC or registered your LLC with, same state. You would need to contact them. Usually they have a form that you fill out and pay a little filing fee to make a change to the address on file. But also remember, guys, that you do also need to change it with the IRS, because at the time when you created your LLC and got your EIN number, you were using whatever address that was at the time. So that's what the IRS has on record. So if you move, make sure you write in to the IRS, and let them know that this EIN number with the name of your LLC, the address has changed, and provide them with the new information. And they will send you a confirmation letter letting you know that they received that change of address. There's also a form, actually. IRS has a change of address form. Off the top of my head, I don't remember it, but if you go to irs.gov, type in change of address, you can also do it that way. But a letter also works too. Okay. Another question. If this is my first year as an LLC and I'm not paying myself, do I still need to file taxes on my LLC? Okay, so this is another kind of gray area question because, for example, let's say if you didn't really make any money, right, in your LLC, but you did spend money, you would still want to file taxes in regards to the LLC, because you would most likely want to be able to recoup those expenses, especially if you're still working a traditional job and you get a W-2, and especially if you're a high income earner, you would want to be able to offset some of that income with the losses you incurred in your LLC. Okay, so yeah, do you still need to file? You should, to get the benefit. Okay, so even if you're not paying yourself, yeah. So that's kind of like a gray area question. If you're the person watching this, you may want to contact me for more information on that. Okay, I'm self-employed or a business owner, and I have been collecting unemployment this year. How will I file my taxes? Right. Okay, guys. So this has unfortunately occurred for a lot of people, right? Due to the situation we've been in for several months now. And some people have had to collect unemployment. So what's going to happen is your state is going to send you a form, just like when it's time for like all the W-2s to come out and stuff like that. The state is also going to send you a form showing all the monies you received on unemployment. Okay, and even if they don't, which they should send the form, you should still be able to log in to wherever you normally like claim your weekly benefits, and you should be able to populate some kind of report to see how much you earned for the year, because it does have to be reported and included. And yes, it is taxed. And I do hope that when you all work, I do hope that you all indicated that you wanted federal and state taxes to come out of that unemployment, because if not, it's definitely going to impact the results of whatever your situation is going to be, whether it's a refund, it's going to decrease it, or whether it's like you normally owe. Well, if you didn't have taxes coming out of that unemployment, yeah, it's going to increase what you would normally owe. So I guess that's for another video. But yes, I just want to say that does get factored into whatever other income you received as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, or even your traditional W-2 income. Okay, that does have to be captured in. Another question, will I owe taxes on the grant or loan money I received from EIDL or PPP? Okay, is it taxable income? So basically, guys, no. Okay, but I want to circle back on that. Okay, you're not gonna, that's not considered like taxable money. The grant is not taxable income. The loan isn't taxable income. And I know these are totally separate matters that we're dealing with the Small Business Administration, SBA, right? They're going to be, if you're following the procedures to not have to repay those, you're good with that. But in terms of the tax side of it, okay, no, you don't have to report it. But here's the thing that I do want to kind of mention about the PPP part. PPP was primarily for payroll protection. Okay, payroll protection, listen to the keyword payroll. So if you indicated that you had a certain amount of payroll or whatever the case may be, because I did some of those applications for people, and it did ask like how much you had in payroll, and you had to put an amount. So if you had put that amount there, they're also going off of like your Schedule C, if you're a sole proprietor, or even if you're an LLC, they were kind of going off of that. And if you indicated that some payroll was paid, there's a possibility you might owe payroll taxes on it. Two totally separate things. You might not owe income taxes on it because it's not income, but you might owe payroll taxes on it because you stated that you paid payroll to yourself or to whoever you said worked for you or who does work for you. So that's kind of like, you know, a gray area. And you guys are welcome to like book me for a one-on-one consultation. I offer 1 hour, 2 hours. You can hit me up for my rates for that. You know, maybe you want to dive a little deeper with me and get more personalized questions answered one-on-one. So those services are available, and that's just also on a global scale, not even just like Q&A. That's if you're like starting a business, growing a business, want to improve your business. I do offer those consultations by phone and video. Okay. Now, another question. How much money should I be making in business before I form my LLC? I actually have a video scroll if you're watching this on YouTube, because I'm probably going to share this across a lot of my other networks. But yeah, on my YouTube, I believe I have a video called like, when should I form my LLC? So this is kind of related to that. And I usually tell people like, you know, just my opinion, but like, what's the wait? How much money should you make before forming your LLC? In my opinion, I don't really think it's about how much money to wait till you're making, because income is going to go up and down, honestly. And so waiting till you hit a certain amount, an LLC is more about, again, in my opinion, an LLC is more about the protection, not really so much waiting till you hit a certain thing. Because at the end of the day, if you do start this LLC, and if God forbid down the line, you know, you want to close it out or you want to dissolve it, then that's just what you can do. But to like not form it because you're waiting to hit a certain money mark, in my opinion, that's not really a good measure. Okay. Just giving you, you know, people ask, so I'm answering. Okay. Do I need to start an LLC to list? I think this is the last question I selected. Do I need to start an LLC to list myself on Upwork or other freelance websites? And for those of you who don't know what Upwork is, Upwork.com is a site where you can go. I mean, there's thousands upon thousands of different categories of freelancers on there: graphic design, administrative assistants, you know, data entry, social media management, all kind of specialists on there. And so do you have to be an LLC to list yourself on there? No, or any of the other freelance sites, because there's a lot of them out there and people are making good money from those, landing gigs and stuff and consistent clients. But no, you don't have to be an LLC to be listed on there. Okay, so I hope I've answered. Well, I know I've selected all the questions that, because a lot came in, but I just chose some that I think a lot of people would have. Okay. And so thank you for watching. Let me just see if there's anything else I wanted to mention. Definitely keep the questions coming because it helps me put out, good content for you guys. I'm working on some courses that I want to begin to help you in a better way. All right. And you can find my contact info in the description box. And let's see what else. Any other last minute notes before I close out? If you're new to my channel, please be sure to subscribe. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. And please come back. Take care. Bye.